Hey, Cowboys Nation! Big news rolling in as the team officially opened the 21-day practice window for Trevon Diggs. While this wasn't a huge surprise, it's still exciting for the squad and the fans alike, as expected. The team brought him back to practice on Sunday, though it was a light session, which is standard for the first day of this type of window. For those who might need a quick refresher when a player is coming off injured reserve, the team has up to 21 days to get them back into full practice before deciding whether to activate them on the roster or keep them on IR. This is a maximum limit, not a minimum, so the Cowboys have the flexibility to bring him straight onto the active roster if they see him ready, just like they did with M. Cooker earlier this season. The ultimate goal, of course, is to have Diggs available to contribute against the Detroit Lions, giving the secondary a boost as the team navigates the crucial stretch of the season. Trevon Diggs himself expressed excitement about returning to the field, noting that he wants to keep momentum going and contribute fully to the team's efforts. He emphasized putting in great effort, making plays, and helping the team win. Now, the reality is that Diggs hasn't been performing at the level fans have seen from him in the past. There have been games this year where his coverage, particularly in zone schemes, left much to be desired. When he got beaten, it often happened in noticeable and tough-to-watch ways. Still, everyone knows the potential he carries. We've seen the best version of Diggs in the past, even though injuries and missed time have kept that version from showing up consistently over the last few seasons. Hopefully, the struggles he faced early in this year won't carry over, and the team will see him operating closer to the elite standard he is capable of reaching. Even beyond his own performance, Diggs' return has strategic implications for the Cowboys' defensive backfield. His presence affects how the coaching staff can rotate corners and manage snaps for other players like Reddy Stewart, Don Bland, Savoni Rebel, and Callan Carson. There's room to bring him in gradually if needed, perhaps limiting his snaps at first to ensure he can stay healthy while still impacting the game. While excitement for his return might not match the energy surrounding other high-profile players, having him back on the field is crucial as the team pushes toward a playoff berth. A healthy, effective Diggs can make a big difference, both in coverage and in overall team confidence. Speaking of other key contributors, the Cowboys are also monitoring the status of players like Callan Carson, who participated in pre-game workouts and could be available soon, adding depth to the cornerback rotation. With so many players in the secondary, the coaching staff has to make careful decisions about who sees the field each week, and Diggs' activation will require thoughtful planning regarding roster spots and snap counts. This is especially true given the physical demands of the position and the need to avoid setbacks from re-injury. The secondary's health and depth are under the microscope as the team looks to make a strong finish to the regular season, making every practice and roster decision increasingly important. Meanwhile, the Cowboys have also made a move with Israel Anaconda, a young and explosive running back who joined the practice squad recently. Anaconda has the kind of dynamic skill set that the Cowboys value: speed, vertical explosiveness, and big play potential. Though he hasn't yet made a significant impact at the professional level, his addition to the squad gives the team another tool for the future. He's still very young, only 23, and there's ample room for growth and development. Fans can look forward to seeing how he adapts to the Cowboys system and whether he can translate his athletic talent into game-changing moments. For a team looking to maintain depth and versatility, adding a player like Anaconda is a meaningful step toward enhancing the roster without rushing him into action before he's ready. As Diggs prepares to return and new additions like Anaconda settle in, the Cowboys are also facing some roster management challenges. Activating Diggs means making room on the 53-man roster, which could involve moving players like Jay Tauia to IR or making tough decisions about who to scratch each week. Players like Trix Bridges, Don Bland, Reddy Stewart, and Savoni Rebel are all in the mix, and balancing the rotation will require careful attention from the coaching staff. Injuries, player performance, and strategic considerations all play a role in determining who gets playing time, and fans should expect some tweaks as the team optimizes its defensive backfield. It's a complex puzzle, but one that could pay dividends if managed correctly, especially with the playoffs in sight and every win carrying added significance. Finally, quarterback depth is also part of the conversation, with players like Josh Butler expressing readiness to contribute. Butler has been prepared for weeks but remains on the sidelines due to roster and positional considerations. While he may not start, his presence provides an extra layer of security for the team. The Cowboys are navigating multiple moving parts across the roster, balancing returning players, young prospects, and overall team health. All of these elements come together as the team pushes toward critical games, aiming to maximize performance while keeping players healthy and ready. It's a dynamic situation, and having players like Trevon Diggs back in practice brings renewed energy, optimism, and potential impact as the team continues to fight for every win. On the path to the postseason, as we look further into the Cowboys' roster dynamics, it becomes clear that every addition, activation, and rotation has a ripple effect across the entire team. With Trevon Diggs back in practice, the coaching staff must carefully consider the balance between giving him opportunities to shine and protecting him from overexertion. The nuances of cornerback play in the NFL are relentless. Each snap requires precision, awareness, and the ability to respond instantly to offensive schemes. Diggs' presence not only strengthens the team's defensive capabilities, but also influences how opponents approach their game planning. Quarterbacks have to think twice about targeting receivers in his coverage area, which opens up possibilities for other defensive backs to make plays or for the linebackers to exploit gaps that previously might have been less accessible. The psychological impact of a player like Diggs returning cannot be overstated, as it adds a layer of confidence and composure to the secondary that can influence the outcome of games in subtle but crucial ways. The Cowboys' pursuit of a playoff push adds urgency to these roster maneuvers. Every decision carries a strategic weight, because the margin for error narrows as the season progresses. Players like Don Bland, Reddy Stewart, Savoni Rebel, and Callan Carson will see their roles evaluated and adjusted based on performance, health, and matchups. The coaching staff must weigh the immediate benefits of getting Diggs back on the field against the long-term goal of maintaining a healthy and cohesive secondary. This involves monitoring snap counts, rotations, and the interplay between starters and backups to ensure that no player is overburdened while maximizing the defensive impact. In addition, opponent tendencies, upcoming game plans, and situational matchups all factor into how each player is deployed, making the return of a high-impact player like Diggs a complex but critical decision. In parallel with defensive considerations, the Cowboys' offensive depth is quietly evolving. Israel Anaconda's addition to the practice squad brings a fresh dimension to the running back room. Although he has yet to demonstrate his full potential in regular season games, his physical attributes, explosiveness, speed, and vertical leaping ability align with the type of dynamic playmakers that can change the trajectory of a drive in a single play. At only 23 years old, Anaconda is still in the early stages of his professional development, and the Cowboys appear committed to giving him time to adjust to the team's schemes, improve his football IQ, and integrate fully into practice routines. As he grows more comfortable with the playbook and the pace of NFL competition, he could emerge as a key rotational piece, providing versatility and unpredictability to the backfield. His journey highlights the importance of nurturing young talent, balancing immediate contributions with long-term potential, and strategically layering depth across the roster. To ensure sustained competitiveness, roster management remains a critical challenge for the Cowboys, especially as they prepare to activate Diggs. With the 53-man roster already tight, someone must make way to accommodate his return. Potential moves could involve placing Jay Talia on injured reserve, creating space in the defensive line rotation, or adjusting the cornerback lineup to account for the influx of healthy players. Decisions like these are rarely simple. Each option comes with trade-offs in terms of depth, coverage, special teams contributions, and future roster flexibility. Players such as Trix Bridges, Don Bland, Reddy Stewart, and Savoni Rebel are all key considerations, and the staff must carefully assess performance in practice, readiness for game scenarios, and overall team synergy before finalizing roster moves. The process is further complicated by injuries elsewhere on the roster, ongoing evaluations of player health, and the overarching goal of maximizing wins as the regular season reaches its final stages. Every activation, scratch, or minor adjustment can influence the team's trajectory in a meaningful way. Quarterback depth also plays into the strategic picture. Josh Butler, for example, has been ready to contribute for weeks but remains sidelined due to positional hierarchy and roster limitations. His presence is still valuable, providing additional security and depth in case of unforeseen circumstances. Even if he does not see immediate playing time, This scenario reflects the broader challenge faced by the Cowboys, maintaining competitive depth across all positions while balancing the need to give top performers meaningful opportunities to impact games. Injuries, readiness, and matchups all factor into decisions, and the coaching staff must consider not only the immediate game-to-game impact, but also the cumulative effects over the stretch run of the season. With playoff aspiration on the line, every decision carries heightened significance, and the ability to navigate these choices effectively could determine the difference between a deep playoff run and a disappointing finish. The return of Trevon Diggs also brings an intangible boost to the locker room beyond statistics and coverage grades. Having a player of his caliber back in practice lifts morale and energizes teammates. Younger players benefit from observing his work ethic, technique, and approach to preparation, while veterans gain confidence knowing that the secondary is reinforced. Chemistry in football is as important as talent, and the mental edge that comes from having a proven playmaker available cannot be underestimated. Diggs' presence can also force opponents to adjust their strategies, creating opportunities for other defenders to make plays that might not have been possible without him on the field. This cascading effect, both physically and psychologically, emphasizes why his return is a pivotal moment for the Cowboys as they navigate a challenging stretch of games and aim to build momentum toward the postseason. Meanwhile, Israel Anaconda's integration into practice drills adds a different type of excitement. The Cowboys coaching staff has the chance to evaluate how his explosive speed and physicality translate in real-time practice scenarios. His ability to execute big plays in controlled situations allows coaches to envision potential roles in actual games, experiment with rotations, and assess readiness for live snaps. This process is vital for young players trying to make an impact, and the team's willingness to give him time to develop underscores a long-term strategy of depth building and talent cultivation. In addition, his presence encourages competition within the roster, pushing veterans and peers alike to elevate performance, stay sharp in practice, and remain ready for game day contributions. As the season intensifies, the combination of returning stars and emerging talents keeps the team dynamic, adaptable, and prepared for both immediate challenges and future opportunities. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. A swirl of speculation is sweeping through the football world, and the buzz around league circles is nothing short of explosive. Whispers growing louder by the hour suggest that an unprecedented double move may be unfolding in Dallas. Patrick Mahomes and Travis KELCE, the iconic duo long associated with Kansas City's dominance, are rumored to be on the verge of swapping the red and gold for the star of the Cowboys. Nothing has been confirmed, yet insiders claim the conversations behind closed doors have reached a level far beyond casual inquiry. Executives reportedly met in strict secrecy, leaving even seasoned analysts stunned by the possibility. The idea of MAHOMES, arguably the face of modern football, teaming up with KELCE in a completely new system has set off a shockwave among fans. Social media has erupted with theories ranging from long-term franchise planning to personal motivations that may have swayed the duo toward Texas. The potential impact on the Cowboys' offensive identity is already being dissected. Rumors suggest that Dallas may be preparing a blockbuster restructuring to accommodate a superstar quarterback-tight end tandem capable of redefining the team's playbook. Observers close to team personnel insist that the front office has held unusually tense internal discussions, the kind that often precede seismic moves. Meanwhile, around the league, rival franchises are bracing for what some insiders call a competitive imbalance waiting to happen. If the whispers prove true, the Cowboys could instantly leap into a new era, blending star power with a championship mentality imported straight from Kansas City's finest. For now, the rumor lives in a haze of half-confirmed hints and carefully avoided denials. But the noise is growing, and the football world is holding its breath. Something big may be brewing in Dallas, something that could change the balance of power in the league forever. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.